We've already agreed, everyone, that the narcissistic person in our life could be your husband, wife, brother, son, friend, neighbor, or even your boss at work. There's so many different roles that this narcissist we're talking about could play. I'm saying this because, as we agreed, a narcissist could be a man, a woman, or any of the roles we just mentioned. Now, we've also agreed that the narcissist never feels any real empathy toward you or anyone who appears to be in the role of the victim. All they care about is breaking you, destroying you, and making sure you have no success in your life. They want you to constantly feel broken and in pain. They betray you and do all kinds of hurtful things without feeling a single ounce of guilt about it. Whatever abuse they inflict, they don't feel any remorse because they simply don't have a conscience. After doing all this to you, and once you finally walk away from them, at some point, they will circle back and try to pull you back into the relationship again. They leave you, punish you, or maybe you left them, but they will never truly let you go. They will always try to bring you back, and there are many tactics they use to make that happen. And that's the topic of today's episode. We're going to talk about the tactics narcissists use to bring you back into their lives. Of course, if you're unaware of what they're doing or how they manipulate you, you might fall into the trap again and go back to them. So when does the narcissist start this process? As I mentioned earlier, it begins when you start cutting off contact and creating distance from them. As soon as they feel that you're pulling away and have made the decision to leave them, they begin their mission to bring you back into the relationship. Now, this isn't something tied to a specific time frame. It could take a day, a month, or even a year. Whatever it takes, they'll keep trying. They're always on that path of trying to get you back. How long it takes depends on your own strength and your ability to resist them. And, of course, it also depends on whether they're currently involved with someone else or have other sources of supply. Other victims, essentially, who are taking your place while you're away. For example, they might leave you alone for a few days, a month, 2, or 3 because they're busy with another victim. As we said before, narcissists don't stay alone with one victim. The moment a victim leaves them, it's a huge loss and emotional blow for them. So it really depends on whether they're currently distracted by someone else or if there's another person they're targeting. If they're tied up with someone else, they might leave you alone for a while, maybe a month or 2. But let's say they have no one else in their life but you. In that case, by the next day or the day after, they'll be right back, doing everything possible and using all the tactics we're about to discuss to get you back. When a narcissist starts trying to win you back, it means they've sensed that you're finally starting to understand them. They feel threatened because you figured out their pattern. That's why you cut off contact. And that's what scares them. He knows very well that you're deeply attached to him and that you love him to the point of madness. The narcissist will try to catch you before he loses you completely. The first method a narcissist uses to try to get you back is quite strange. No matter what happened between you two, you'll find that the very next day, he contacts you as if nothing ever happened. With extreme coldness, he acts like nothing at all occurred. If he used to talk to you lovingly, he'll talk to you with that same love again. You'll find a message in the morning like, "How are you doing? How's everything?" As if nothing had happened. He'll even start talking to you very casually, asking about things related to your life together. For example, "What did you do about that thing we talked about yesterday?" Or, "How's the thing we agreed to work on? How are the kids?" Or, "What happened with that girl?" He'll talk to you in a completely normal way, as if he didn't do anything at all. And he doesn't just send one message and stop. No, if you don't respond the first time, he sends another and then another, to the point where you start asking yourself, am I really overreacting this much? That's exactly what the narcissist wants. He makes you lose trust in yourself and in your own decisions. When you thought of leaving him or when you cut off contact with him, it was because you had reached your absolute limit. You were at a breaking point in the relationship. You had been hurt badly, and this person caused you a lot of emotional damage, so you chose to walk away. Then a day or 2 later, you find him sending you a message like nothing ever happened. Not even an apology. He just messages you as if everything is completely normal. This makes you start doubting yourself. You begin to wonder if maybe you really are exaggerating. You start telling yourself, maybe he didn't mean it, or maybe he didn't intend for things to go the way they did. And just like that, you go back to him. This is the first tactic the narcissist uses to pull you back. He makes you feel guilty, like you're the one making a big deal out of nothing, or that he didn't really mean to hurt you. The goal is to make you feel like what happened wasn't serious enough to justify what you did. The second method a narcissist uses to get you back is by telling you exactly what you've always wanted to hear. He'll start saying those sweet words again, the ones he used to say in the beginning. He'll tell you that you're everything to him, that he can't live without you, and that he swears he won't ever do this again. The same things you used to wish he'd say or do for you, the things you always ask from him. And of course, he plays on the fact that you still have love for him inside you. Just by hearing those words again, you begin to feel weak and vulnerable, and you might end up going back to him. His whole goal is to soften your heart, to take advantage of the compassion you have, which, as we've said before, is something he manipulates in his victims. He uses the qualities his victims have, qualities he lacks. So every time he uses this method with you, your heart begins to soften, you feel sympathy, and you start thinking about giving him another chance. The third method, everyone, is when he starts using your kindness against you. Your kind heart is something he knows very well. He's sure of it, because when he chose you as his victim, or when he selected you from among the people he played with, he saw a great deal of kindness in you. That kindness is what he plans to exploit now that you've walked away, so he can pull you back in by making you feel sorry for him. He might start by sending you a message saying, "Pray for me." He starts playing with your emotions, acting like he's in trouble or going through something difficult. You'll begin to think, "I can't just leave him like this when he's suffering or he needs me right now." He'll message you things like, "I'm really not well," or "I'm sick," or "Ever since what happened, I've been miserable and I can't live without you," or "My life is falling apart without you." All of this is to make your heart soften so you'll consider going back to him. You might start saying to yourself, "Maybe he really will change," or "Maybe he'll be different this time." But let me be clear. I'm talking here about narcissistic abuse, not normal relationship disagreements. Because a lot of people misunderstand this and think I'm trying to tell people to give up on their marriages or relationships because of normal problems. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not talking about everyday disagreements or tolerating some flaws in your husband or wife. I'm talking about narcissism, which is an entirely different matter. What we're going through in life? No, I'm not talking about normal issues. I'm talking about someone who is mentally disturbed, someone who is constantly hurting me, someone who is always tearing me down, devaluing me. That's his way of living. Of course, right now, he's taking advantage of your weakness and kind heart. Because the moment you hear these things from him, there's no way you'll just abandon him. You'll respond with your true nature, the kind of person you are. That's what we know happens. The fourth method is when he starts blaming everyone else for what happened between you two, except himself. He starts attacking by shifting the blame. For example, he might accuse your brother of being the reason for what happened, or say your mother caused the situation. He'll point fingers at someone else for being the reason you cut contact with him. But the truth is, you didn't cut contact because of just one incident. No, it was because of accumulated pain, so many hurtful events, insults, and emotional abuse, one after the other. It was never about a single situation. Still, he'll try to convince you that it was just that one thing caused by someone else. Then your mind starts to spin. You find yourself thinking about just that specific incident, and you forget everything that came before it. All the past pain gets pushed to the side, and you focus on the last straw, the moment that made you finally leave. Whether it involved your brother, your father, mother, sister, whatever it was, he'll latch onto. Then he starts sending you all kinds of emotional messages like "you never loved me," or "the first time something happened, you abandoned me," or "you left me just like that." All those heavy words meant to shake your emotions and guilt. That's when you suddenly feel overwhelmed, and you run back to call him and return to the relationship. The fifth method he uses is threats. He'll start threatening you directly. He'll threaten you with the things that can hurt or upset you. If you're married, he'll threaten you with the kids, saying you won't see them. If there's a shared business or project between you, he'll threaten to take it away from you. Or he'll try to take back anything that connects you to him. Of course, what he does can have a strong effect, especially if you're unable to give up the things he's threatening you with, like the kids, for example. No mother can just give up her children or at the very least, it would be extremely difficult. So you might end up giving in and contacting him again. The next method, guys, is the apology. He'll start apologizing for what happened. But I want you to understand something very clearly. An apology doesn't exist in the narcissist dictionary. He doesn't actually mean it. For him, it's just a tool he uses to get you back. As for the apology itself, he doesn't truly apologize. A narcissist never apologizes or admits he's wrong, no matter what happens. This time, when he apologizes, it's only to win you back or make you feel weak and say, okay, this is the last time. And his apology, by the way, is never in private. No, it's public. He'll try to play on your emotions even more by posting on Facebook or some public page or place where he knows people will see what he's saying. The apology is made in front of others so that later, you won't have any excuse. Once someone sees him apologizing and then sees you rejecting him, they'll say, come on, he's a good person. If he apologized, it means he didn't mean it. So in the end, you'll feel forced to go back to him. The seventh method the narcissist uses to get you back is to completely withdraw from your life. He'll start to disappear, not entirely, but in a calculated way intended to bring you back. This is one of his techniques to get you back. He'll suddenly vanish. You won't see him around. He might block you on social media. If he had your photo on his profile, he'll remove it just to convince you that he's really gone. He does this to make you afraid that he's actually moving on, even though you're the one who left him first. Just the idea that he has truly lost hope and will never come back can shake you. You'll feel really scared, and you'll end up going back. Yes, you'll go back and reach out to him and reconnect again. The next tactic he uses to get you back is involving a third party in the situation, like your mother or sister. He'll talk to them and say, I didn't mean it, or I don't know how things got out of control, and how do we even end up like this? He brings someone in to influence you emotionally. And while talking to this third person, he presents himself as if he never meant to hurt you, just to appear like the victim, or to make it seem like you exaggerated the whole situation. Once this third person believes him or buys into what he's saying, they'll come to you, talk to you, and try to convince you to go back to him. In the end, that third person might succeed in delivering the message that makes you return to him again. The next method he tries is suggesting that you remain friends. He might say something like, let's just forget the past and stay friends. We can't just cut each other out of our lives. But don't forget, narcissists don't have friends. A narcissist doesn't keep friendships. So how can someone go from a deep, complicated relationship to suddenly being just friends? It's impossible. Of course, he doesn't mean the friendship thing at all. Forget about the idea that a narcissist can be a friend or even capable of true friendship. All of these methods we talked about, the narcissist uses them to get you back into the relationship by pressuring you, threatening you, playing on your emotions, and manipulating everything that's in your heart, especially your kind, soft heart that finds it hard to let go of others. He won't stop trying to get you back unless he becomes absolutely certain that you've truly left and will never return. Only when he's convinced, after all these attempts and still no success, he might let go. Might, but not easily or quickly. No, he'll keep chasing you for a long time, trying again and again to drag you back into the relationship. And you need to understand something very important. He doesn't want you back out of love. It's because you're his victim, his property. As we said before, narcissists see their victims as possessions, and they can't accept being left. He is the one who leaves, not you. So getting you back is not about love. It's about restoring his pride and ego. Now here's the real problem. If you go back to him, be prepared for punishment, because he wants to make sure you won't dare to leave again. So, if he did something wrong and you left, but then he managed to bring you back, he'll punish you. That's why when you leave again, he'll use the same tactics to bring you back once more. And this is why there is no cure for a narcissist. He will continue the abuse, the insults, and all the toxic behavior. So if you've made the decision to walk away from a narcissist, try as much as you can to close off every path he might use to get back to you. Block every possible opening he could use to reach you. And once again, guys, I'm talking here about toxic relationships, not ordinary disagreements. Normal conflicts happen. There's no such thing as a life without problems. But I'm talking about chronic, harmful problems the kind that have no solution.